Welcome everybody. This is Joseph Brownlee. Welcome to Chicago to Albania. No, I'm not in Albania yet, so don't get your antennas up. I'm here in the Chicago area. I just want people to, my followers to see the area that I live in, Chicago, so you can get a little taste of just a smidgen of Chicago. Man, there's so much to Chicago I'm going to show you before I leave on my journey to Albania to meet my fiance. Personally, for the first time in Madrid, Spain. My destination is Madrid, Spain. Let me get that out there. I say that a lot on my my diary, my app. The main goal why I'm going through, emphasis on through Albania, is to get to Madrid, Spain, where my fiance Cristina, Cancelo Hedamilo, Cristina, nickname Princess Nemo Fu, resides. To meet my baby, to meet my lady. That's my heart. You know, that's my love. We've been together for 19 years, but never met each other, bad English, personally, physically. That's a story in itself, you know. That's a story in itself. And I'm going to be putting updates and everything while I get prepared to get on a plane and everything and set up in Albania. Now, this might look like something that's in Albania, but it's not. It's one of the beautiful buildings, one of the beautiful big buildings that's in the Chicago area for the ones that's not in Chicago. This is like, I think, of some type of social help, social welfare help, but it's here in Humboldt Park. Humboldt Park is predominantly, you know, Puerto Rican, Spanish culture, Ukraine culture, stuff like that. It's also named Wicker Park and West Town. So this is one of the buildings there. Now, right now, I'm just showing you something, a part of just a smidgen of Chicago. This area here, one of the biggest parks, I believe, that's in Chicago. I may be wrong. It's called Humboldt Park. Humboldt Park Park. Humboldt Park. This is one of the biggest parks in the Chicago area. I'm trying not to move so much because when I make my videos, I move too much. I may make people dizzy. But this is the Humboldt Park area. Now, I had nothing else to do. I'm washing now. I'm at the laundromat. Yes, I still go to the laundromat. I don't have my own washer. Hey, don't judge. I'm at the laundromat, and this is the park, Humboldt Park. For the ones that don't know, I have my passport out. I sent out my passport going on 2 weeks now. It's supposed to be back approximately 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully, you know, but maybe just say 3 to 4. You know, I got it expedited, so it'll be around 2 to 3 weeks, according to the post office agent I sent it off to. I had experts to do it. They done it for about $197. I didn't want nothing messed up. I didn't want no mishaps. I wanted every T crossed and every I dotted, as you say, to get that passport, okay? My savings is starting because I don't have a savings. I don't have a pension. That's going to be another leap of faith for me going to Albania, because many people go to Albania, have some type of savings and some type of pension or some type of flow coming in. I'm going without either one. I'm only relying on my Social Security when I get that going and the build-up of my passive income. You know, so I only have about 4.5 to 5 months to get all that done. But I'm going anyway because I'm stepping out, a step of faith. And stepping out, and I'm working really hard to get my my extra income flowing. You know, that's the passive income flowing. That's going to be very important, you know, going on my journey to Albania. All right, so I got the hardest part out the way, my passport. I got the second thing out the way, which I'm doing it on a payment plan. It's called Pay Later Travel. If you don't have all the full plane ticket and you kind of low on funds, I recommend Pay Later Travel. I recommend Pay Later Travel. All you got to do is Google it, AI it, or whatever. Pay Later Travel. I just started that. You know, I'm paying only what, 40-something bucks every other week or something like that. you know, for a one-way ticket. Yes, I'm getting a one-way ticket because I plan on staying in Albania for the whole 365 days. What's happening, what I would do after that, it all depends. But my plan is just to stay there a year. I'm going to look into different towns and cities, you know, the ones I can travel around to, financially able to do that. You know, my focus is going to be, if I stay longer, is on a town called Shkodër. Some people call it Shkodër, but Shkodër in Albania. I might wind up staying between Tirana or Durrës for long-term year. So far, it looks like Durrës. You know, I might stay because I'm not into the city life. Now, I know Albania is not as lively as Chicago or Madrid, but I still want kind of a laid-back, you know, tropical look in Durrës. Not so much a lot of water. I don't need all that, but a laid-back look. But, you know, kind of like that lakefront, you know, Chicago lakefront downtown. If you're from Chicago area, look something like that. And Durrës remind me of a small Miami, a miniature Miami. So it got both of two worlds, that laid back and that kind of tropical beach look. And beaches is not my big thing, but you know, my fiance Cristina loved that beach look and stuff like that. So, but she won't be staying with me. And then, you know, that's another story. Long term, we don't know where we're going to be. We might wind up in Italy somewhere. Or she talked about another place called Malta. So ain't no telling what we're going to wind up together. But I know it's not going to be the United States, because the healthcare is crazy there, and she needs good healthcare and much affordable healthcare, where she can get in places like Spain or Italy. You know, not even Albania. Albania has a better dental plan than a health plan, so Albania is just right for me. But my Cristina, she needs that. She needs her health care. She's already a resident of Madrid, Spain. She's from Cali, Colombia. So she's already a resident in Madrid, Spain. Okay? So ain't no sense of her, I'm trying to get her to America or Albania. I just rather sacrifice myself and stay, you know, maybe 6 months in and 6 months out, meaning I might be there and then I might be in the United States, or I might be in Albania. I just do not know. My future for the United States is kind of in the middle. And I mean that it's kind of in the middle. Not because I hate the United States. I dislike the United States system. I hate the United States government system and what they do to their own people. But what countries is not doing that? You know, it's just around the world that the government system, you know, is just corrupt. You know, it's like globally. So I'm not only just picking with the United States, because the United States done a lot for me. And most of my income is coming, well, all of my income is coming from the United States. So I'm not ruling out America like that, you know. And I don't advise any expat or digital nomad. Well, digital nomads are making their money from the USA. So, you know, you just have to understand the extra income that we need to stay in these countries, whether it's long-term or 6 months or short-term. We need the finances from the United States, because the majority of these countries, most of them, does not have the jobs and the pay to support what we do. You know, they only make enough money for the locals, and that's the same with Albania, you know. So I'm not going to Albania. I'm not looking for a job. After retirement, I'm not looking to work for nobody. No one. It's just going to be an independent. I'm working for myself. It's going to be independent, because I'll be taking care of me and my wife, Cristina, because she's not really able to physically work. She could do things, but not long term because of her fibromyalgia and stuff like that. So I would be taking care of my baby. I would be just be me and her, like a real man should do, take care of his wife. You know, I have nothing against a wife working or nothing like that, but if that is not able to come into play, man, you need to take care of your woman. You need to, if it takes 2 jobs or a big business, take care of your woman, especially if she's a good wife and a good woman and with children. Take care of your lady, you know, help her out, be with her and everything, you know, because sometimes, you know, they need that love. And a woman, many women, I'm not going to say most, but I'm not going to speak of American women, but many cultural, international women still rather stay at home and take care of the house. And I love that. But I have nothing against a woman working. I'm not anti-women working. You know, I'm not all like that. I am a Christian. I love my Lord Jesus Christ. I'm not under the law. So I'm not all into that. A wife stay at home and take care of her child and kids, you know. But if that's still a beautiful thing, I'm old-fashioned in that way if a wife chooses to. If a male needs financial help, let your wife work. You know, let your wife work. If she makes more than you, don't get upset. you know, if she loves you and just want to help you out, get upset, but always understand you are the man and you are responsible to putting the food on the table regardless of how she worked. Work that thing out, okay? Don't get upset and jealous. Work that thing out. You know, some women just have a stronger career than men in marriage. And some men okay with that, and some men feel ashamed. You know, that's a natural feeling. But I'm not here to teach on that. I'm not a teacher on that. But my thing is, I rather just take care of my wife. She doesn't never have to work. She does not never have to work, you know. And she would not need to work, so I would take care of her. She do her thing and I do my thing. I never needed a wife to cook because I can cook myself, you know. As long as she loves me, she take care of things she's supposed to. Hey, I'm supposed to, as in, you know, house and different things like that or whatever she's able to do. But the condition of my wife, I'm not looking for that. Because of her condition, I'm going to hold down the fort. And she's going to hold down what she can hold down, okay? So, this is Chicago. All of this is part of Humboldt Park. The Humboldt Park area in Chicago. I'm washing clothes now. I'm going to head back to the laundromat. I just wanted to keep you guys updated, give you a little video. You will see this on the video, so make sure if you are scrolling through my Chicago to Albania app, website, please scroll through everything, look through everything, the updates and the messages and the blogs that I put out there, the videos and the photos that I put on there. I don't have many photos, but if you're wondering how my wife look, my fiance, my future wife, she's in the photo section. Look at the photo section. You will see my beautiful Cristina Milo, alias Princess Nemo Fu. I have a few photos of myself, but you're probably tired of looking at my face. But I want you to look at my beautiful Cristina. She's from Cali, Colombia. Beautiful country. Now she resides in Madrid, Spain. Again, where we're going to wind up after a year or two, Lord's willing, both of us is focusing on Italy. Both of us is focusing on Italy. But the thing is, you got to understand the visa rules. You just can't move to a country. When you hear, excuse me, clogged up. When you hear certain expats say they leave in America or they leaving somewhere and they're going to stay in another country, it's not that easy. You just can't up and move to another country. Most all countries have a 90-day visa that an American or whatever country you're from is allowed to stay in. 90 days is the maximum you could stay in a country. So ain't no up and going and living there. It's a paperwork. You got a lot of money, you might can get around that, but it's still a visa rule of 90 days. Albania and Georgia are the only two that offers a 1-year visa. Albania and the country Georgia. Write this down. Albania and the country Georgia are the only two that I know of now that offers a 365-day visa. You can stay there, no visa, nothing. Just stay there for a year. That's it. You tap your passport and they already know you're there for the year. They count from there. Also in Albania, I don't know about Georgia, but Albania, also, if you stay there a year and you decide that you want to stay longer, it's some paperwork you have to go through, whether you're a retiree, whether you're a nomad, or whether you got a business or whatever. You know, you can go through that time, but it's not hard at all. But check this out. If you stay in Albania 1 year, 365 days, and you leave, you can come back to Albania for another year. You can keep doing that. I don't know how long. But the key is that you have to stay out of Albania for 90 days. For at least 90 days before you can come back to Albania and you can get another year. These are for the Americans. These are for the United States. I don't know about, this is only for USA because of the relationship, you know, and it's a long history about that. I got that on my website. Please check out why Albania is so friendly with America, the United States. It's a beautiful story, but you please check that out on my platform. I have the story on my platform that's breaking that down. Why the relationship, why Albania gives the United States a free visa for 1 year, 365 days. Very strong, powerful story about this struggling country, Albania, called Albania. Now, you leave out, you stay there a year, you leave Albania for 90 days. It doesn't matter where you go. This is the beautiful thing. You don't have to go back to your country. Or you don't have to go back to the United States. Now, let's talk about the United States, because this pertaining to the United States. You stay in Albania 1 year if you choose. You choose, all right? You don't have to, but if you choose. And then you just leave Albania. You could stay out of Albania for 90 days, 3 months, and then you come back to Albania and stay another year. And I don't know how many times you can do that. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look into that and keep you updated on that. But you can stay in Albania another 90 days. Isn't that cool? That's cool, real talk. So, you know, you leave Albania as an American. This is American benefit for only Americans that I know of. Stay in Albania for a year. Leave for 90 days. Check this out. If you want to go and visit another country, like the neighboring countries like Italy, Greece, Spain, or even go to London, you can go to one of those countries or whatever country you choose and stay there 30 days one place, stay there another place for 30 days if you can afford it, and different things like that, or stay the whole 90 days a day. And if you choose to come back to Albania, you could do that. Your clock starts again in Albania. That's a cool thing, real talk. That's beautiful. So that's what I may wind up doing, you know. Why do I say may wind up doing? Because I don't know how I'm going to feel or how I'm going to do in Albania. I don't know. But I'm going to do that 1 year. You know, and I'm going to keep everybody updated from the flight on. But if I decide to do a residence there, I don't know, or I just might do the 90-day thing, go and just stay with my lady. My wife then will be in Spain for 90 days. You know, so it's a win. It's a win-win for me and America. I don't have to go back to America. But this is what me and my wife is going to plan on doing, my future wife. Stay in Albania a year, then both of us is going to go back to the United States and stay about, 7 to 10 dathe because her dream was always to visit the United States, and I'm not going to bust her bubbles in her dream. That's one of her biggest dreams, to go to the United States, because Lord willing, we're going to go back to the United States, and then we're going to come back and probably stay in Spain. And then I'm going to go back to Albania. You know, that's a possibility. But I'll keep you all posted. I'm not making no really deep plans to stand in another country as of yet. Albania is where I'll be for at least a year anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this. You have any questions, please ask me. This will be on YouTube, and I'm doing it on Facebook, but I will post this on my Albania page. So be looking out for this. Of course, it's going to be on there already, but you know. So God bless you all. Peace out. This is Joseph Brownlee, Chicago to Albania. Love you all. Peace out.